If you're a small business owner and you hate selling, I get it. I used to feel exactly the same. But here's the thing, in the last 30 days, my business closed 86% of the leads that we spoke to. I built an accountancy firm from scratch. We've got a team of 9, and I only wish I'd known sooner about what I'm going to share. This isn't a gimmick, and it's not one weird trick. It will work for your business. You just have to change exactly what I'm saying. I'm going to share examples from my own firm, but ultimately, I'm going to give you a complete sales engine built from everything I learned in the first 10 years of my career, long before I moved into accountancy. If you watch this to the end, I genuinely believe you'll walk away with this sales engine that could win awards. I'm not going to wrap it up in psychology. If you want that and you're after that, it's in my book, The Science of Business, where I talk about how you can do this. Today's video is about real systems, systems that are going to build trust, remove doubt, and help buyers feel confident about saying yes. But here's the truth. You can't pick and choose. You've got to do everything. So you've got to stick with me, and you've got to, if you want these real results, this is where it starts. Okay, so where does it start? Well, there are 7 key elements of a sales engine. And the first one is about giving something valuable away for free. This is a principle called reciprocity. If you give something to somebody, they will want to give it back to you in return. It's psychology, basically. How do I do this? Well, I offer a free 1-hour consultation. I'm giving away knowledge. It's not unusual for firms of accountants to give a free hour or a free consultation. We take it a step further. I genuinely believe that people can walk away from a consultation with me and have actionable advice, things that they can use that day to put into place in their business. I also take it a step further. I give them a free copy of my book. How many accountants do you know who've written a business book? And not just a book on accountancy, it's a business book as well. But I'm giving something away for free, and that can be anything in your business. It doesn't have to be a particular product. It just needs to be something to create that feeling of reciprocity with your clients. The second thing is you've got to build a repeatable system. How we do this is we're using a checklist. We've created an onboarding checklist. It sounds really boring, but it's magic. We consider this checklist document we've created like an industry secret of ours because it works so well. But it ensures every client gets the same experience every single time. And for our team, it's a roadmap that guarantees how we deliver and how we honor our promises ultimately, because it tells them everything they need to know about it. Ultimately, great service doesn't scale without systems, and systems build trust. I know it can seem boring, but when we're onboarding new clients, it's the moment where we can get everything right. So if you've got a checklist, you're building up on this. And so it's one of the key building blocks that you're going to need. For example, have you added them to the email marketing database? The third thing, you've got to ask for reviews and actually use them. If a client compliments us, we ask them for a review right then and there. Here's the link to our Google. Could you fill us out a Google review? If you go and look at Orange Umbrella on Google, you'll find we've got 5-star reviews. Why do you do this? Because social proof works. People buy from people that others trust. The real test is, are your testimonials everywhere? Are they on the homepage? Are they in your proposal deck? Email footers even? You could put them on the wall in the office. As soon as someone walks through the door, they're getting that feel that they can trust you. The fourth one is you've got to position yourself in a position of authority. When someone's considering buying from you, they want to know, am I in the right hands? Our onboarding checklist absolutely highlights that, because we can cover off kind of key bits of advice and we make sure everyone gets that same advice. But in my case, I can take it a step further. I've got my book, The Science of Business. At times that book has been in the top 10 of the self-employment chart on Amazon. I think at the moment, the time of recording, it's in the 11th position. That tells the client something really important, that, this guy's written a book. Not only that, it's a good book and he knows his stuff. It's creating this air of authority. I worked with someone a good few years ago, and he started his presentation and said, I coach politicians. Wow. How well does that create authority? But it's part of the reason that I produce YouTube videos. I have a podcast. I also teach at a university. I create blog content. All of these things create authority. They make people want to buy from you. You don't need kind of a PhD at the end of the day to create authority. You will have done things in your business that are impressive ultimately, but you need to communicate those. You need to tell your client about them. You need to show up with value every single day. I once had this client pitch to me. It was an online Zoom. They had a PowerPoint presentation deck. It was littered with all those testimonies, all that good stuff. And I asked this really difficult question, and they said, "I don't know." And they went off. They found an expert. They brought them onto the call, and actually, it was part of their sales process to create authority. It was really well done. The fifth one is to be likable. This is about finding common ground. People will buy from companies or people that they like, or companies that they like. And it's not about being kind of creating fake charm or anything like that. It's about asking questions. Do they run? Do they cycle? Do they play chess? Are they married? Have they got kids? Take a moment to genuinely compliment them on their business. "Oh, you've grown this incredible business on your own. Wow, that's such an achievement." You've got to mean it ultimately. People know when it's not real, but it's about engaging in some normal conversation. The sixth one is about creating some scarcity. Truthfully, I might add, we say things like we're close to capacity. And sometimes, we've got a waiting list for people. As soon as I say the word waiting list, the dynamic changes. They want us, they want to work with us straight away. And it's not that I'm making it up. It's because we're really, really busy. We've onboarded loads of people, and we've just got to kind of bring them on at a nice steady rate. But the scarcity will drive decisions ultimately. Why does Black Friday only last for a weekend? It's because it's scarcity. It's not about being fake, it's about creating honest limits. And people will respect that, but they will want to buy from you. The seventh one is about creating belonging. Our firm's really close knit with our staff and our clients. We share lots of education materials. We check in with them. We try and create a bit of a community feel through a close Facebook group. It's about creating shared values and belonging. Things like community, family, lifestyle. When a client feels like they're working with us, they feel that they kind of, "Oh, I'm part of something here." And that's really important for you to bring into your kind of sales pitch as well. But if you're looking at kind of, I suppose, the psychology behind what I'm talking about, then I would recommend that you pick up a copy of my book. There's a great chapter in there called "Hi, I'm Dan," where I go through all of this. But ultimately, those 7 steps I've run through with you today are the things that I've created an 86% closing rate. And I have had that statistic higher, up at 96% before as well. My business works on trust, and our sales process has to work on trust. And it's not about doing this in a fake way just to close work for the sake of closing it. It's about creating a meaningful relationship and alleviating the client's concerns ultimately. Look, if you found this video useful, then apply these real world strategies, but think about subscribing, because I share lots of valuable information every single week about things that I've learned in my business. Sometimes they're my mistakes, things I haven't done well, and I think we can all learn from that, can't we? So stop trying to waste money on trying to create the perfect sales engine. Just go and follow these 7 ideas that I've given you, and you will build something real that will work for you. I absolutely promise it. Thanks. Bye.